Welcome to Navajo County Connection. I'm your host, Jason Whiting, Navajo County Supervisor. And today, our guests are Michael Sample, the Navajo County Fair Board President, and Michelle Stock, the Navajo County Fair Event Director. Welcome to the show. We're glad to have you with us today.
Thank you, Supervisor Whiting. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys being here with us. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? I think it's always important for our guests to get to know you a little bit and know your role and what you do. Michelle, why don't we start with you? Do you mind telling us a little about who you are and then talk about your role?
Sure. I'm Michelle Stock. I've been, I lived in Taylor now for over 30 years. I had a little business in town for about 13 years prior to getting my job at the county fair. My title is Event Director. I'd like to say that I do quite a bit more than that, but the Event Director is my official title, and basically just kind of run the show, take care of all of the ins and outs of what happens there, and not just during the fair, but also all year long. We have events that happen all the time.
I don't know that a lot of people know that. So you talked about being the event director and that you do a lot more, and you definitely do. So it's worth mentioning that. But yes. You talked about events going on all year long. We have of course, the fairgrounds that are there, but it's not just used one time a year, correct?
No. In fact, we probably utilize that thing every weekend, all year round. We have weddings, quinceañeras, birthdays, graduations. We have rodeos, barrel races, team ropings on the other side in the arena. We have horse shows. We have Christmas events, Halloween events. There's just something going on all the time.
It truly is amazing. Before working with you guys, I had no idea how much you guys really had going on there. And so it's great for our guests to kind of hear. I imagine some of them don't realize exactly how much you all really do have going on. So thank you for your service and working there.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Michael, why don't you talk to us a little about your role as president? A little bit maybe at first about who you are and why this is important to you, and then your role.
Okay, thank you. My name is Mike Sample. I am originally from Holbrook. My mom's family, actually, the Padilla family, were the first settlers in Holbrook at Horsehead Crossing in the 1860s. I was born and raised there, and I believe in community service. So I actually became involved with the fair when my daughters were really young. They were involved in the fair as rodeo queens. My younger one was Little Buckaroo, and my older one was Teen Queen, and they were involved in 4-H as well. So we started going to the fairgrounds for those events. And then I was recruited to become a Fair Board member back in 2006, I believe. So I've been involved with the Fair Board since then. I became president in 2012. So I've been president of the Fair Board for 2012. Besides that, I'm also involved. I'm the Navajo County Recorder. I volunteer also as the Holbrook Chamber or Planning and Zoning Commissioner, and I belong as a member of the Holbrook Cal City Lodge number 6 Free and Accepted Masons. So I like being involved in my community and proud of that. Like you said, people don't have no idea what it takes to run those fairgrounds until you're involved in it. We have an 18-member fair board now. We've reduced it from 21 to 18, and we are involved in there pretty much every weekend, either cooking in the cantina, doing something at the fairgrounds. And the fair board are all volunteers. Michelle's one of our hired positions, but the fair board members are all volunteers, and so we're there all the time working, and it takes a lot to keep that facility going and bring events to our community. So we're happy to do that, though.
Well, let me, before we go into everything else, to tell you both thank you. You don't hear it enough, and you certainly need to hear it from me. I know the Board of Supervisors certainly appreciates you and what you do, and our communities do as well. It takes so many to come off the bench to make it all happen. As a child growing up in this region, I absolutely love the events and the different things that we had going on. I just simply had no idea the amount of work that goes on in order to put it all together. Mm-hmm. But as an adult now, I want that same culture and environment for my kids, and it's very obvious that that's important to the both of you. So thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes,
appreciate
thank you.
it.
Yeah, and your involvement in this as well as in so many other things. So let's talk about the fair. Let's talk about it's exciting. It's coming up. It's going to be here shortly.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us a little about the dates, times, and what's going on with the fair this year?
No, I can take that.
Yes.
So this year's dates are September 15th through the 18th. Starts Wednesday. Opening ceremonies are at 6 p.m. and we go through Saturday night with our rodeo. The theme for this year is celebrating 90 years of memories at the Navajo County Fair. So this year is our actual 90th anniversary of Navajo County Fair in Holbrook. It began in Taylor, and then being Holbrook the county seat, it was moved in 1931 to Holbrook. So we've been going 90 years strong. So we're excited this year to put this show on in an event. And a lot of people think, oh, it's just a one-year event. But Holbrook, the fair, is not just a carnival and rodeo. It's an event that brings people and families together. And to be honest with you, like myself growing up there, we have great memories of going to the fair as a kid, and now as an adult with my family and with other people and their families. I think it's a great event that we put on.
We've also been working really hard to upgrade the facilities and bring in some new fun things to do, being that it's our 90th anniversary. And so we're excited to have everybody come in and check these things out. We'll have our normal things like the carnival, the rodeo, the demolition derby, but we have new events this year and some other fun things going on as well, which I don't know if you want me to talk about them now or later, but it's going to be a good time. We hope everybody will come.
Absolutely. Why don't we talk about some of the things that are going to be going on this year? So, for example, I'm going to ask you, tell us and pretend like, obviously I've had a chance to be able to go, but some of our viewers may not have had a chance to go. You talked about a carnival. What can they expect in the way of a carnival that's there? What does that mean?
So what our carnival comes from, they're down out of the valley. They're called Fraser Shows of America, and they're one of the bigger carnivals in this region and stuff. So we're happy to work with them, and they come on and put on a great show. Mr. Broski is the owner of that. He loves coming to Navajo County Fair. He says this is one of the best fairs that he likes to go and put on his carnival. Mm-hmm. And so we're excited to see him coming. He has some great rides and stuff. So we're happy to have that carnival. I know it attracts people from throughout the county and other areas to come just go to the carnival. And I know people are excited. He's got a rig parked at the fairgrounds now. He's had there for about a few weeks. And people have been calling the fairgrounds, say, hey, is the carnival going? Is the carnival going? When's the carnival? So people are excited to put on that carnival. And I can't wait for it to come and go. I mean, to come and get going. And
a little bit to add to that, right now at our office, we have pre-sale tickets for the carnival. You can get a ticket of 10 rides for $22, which is a pretty good deal. So come on down to the office in Holbrook and you can pick those up. We'll be selling them all the way through until probably noon the first day of our fair, which is the 15th.
And it saves a little bit of money if they want to come and buy them in advance, then have to go purchase ride tickets during the fair. So if you want to come and get some at the fairgrounds, now is a good chance to come and save a little money on those rides.
Thank you for that input. That obviously is going to help people out. Mm-hmm. Well, if they don't come for the carnival aspect of it, there's certainly many more things that are going on there. Do you mind talking a little bit about the involvement with the youth? I know there are various things that are going on there from 4-H and otherwise. What are some of the events that are happening for families there with the youth and with livestock?
So we have our junior livestock show where kids who are involved in FFA and 4-H work all year long preparing their animals, and they come and they show their talents on how to show their animals in the arena. At the end of the week on Friday, we have an auction where those kids have an opportunity to sell their animals. But it's a great opportunity in 4-H and FFA for those kids to be involved in those programs. It teaches them many valuable life skills that they grow up and becoming who they are as an adults. And I always use my daughters as examples, and that's what they do now. They've grown up in 4-H, and one of my daughters is a 4-H agent in Arizona. The other one graduated with an animal science degree from the University of Arizona based on growing up at the fairgrounds in those programs. So it's a great opportunity for families to come and to watch those kids on how they've worked all year long preparing those animals and showing those animals at the fair.
I'll add to that the weekend prior to us starting, which is the September 11th, we have our horse show, which is our horse achievement group. And it will be going on all day long if anybody wants to come out and support those kids. Same thing, they work all year long to participate in the horse show at the county fair. And the peewees are actually Friday night prior, and then the rest of it's that Saturday. And then they finish up on Wednesday morning before before we open up at 4 for the fair. There's also our small stock will be showing as well. And we have a separate barn. So when they come into the fairgrounds, they can check out all of the animals, which the large stock is usually down on the north end of the fairgrounds. And then the small stock is in its own little room. It's a place where I don't go, but
it's the rabbits and poultry.
Rabbits and
chickens and
yes.
guinea pigs.
But
and
if
stuff
anybody
like that.
likes that kind of stuff, they can go on
She's
in there.
afraid of them.
I always loved it when I was a kid. I actually made it a point to specifically go look at that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways,
That's fun
great.
for the kids. Very fun for the kids.
And again, I always push, it's amazing on what these kids can do. And they work hard all year round to prepare themselves for the fair. So I encourage people to go and support them and just watch what they do in the arena. And again, go look at their animals in the small stock barn and stuff, because they deserve it for all the hard work that they put into it.
Yeah, absolutely. What a great opportunity to be able to have a situation or a lane where children are productively going out and learning and growing and doing. Yes. And then we have an opportunity to go and watch them and support them. So thanks again for doing that.
Another event we have for our youth is the Little Buckaroo Rodeo. And that's on Saturday. They have some roping going on at 10 a.m., but it officially starts at noon in the arena. And any kids a certain age, I can't remember the age it starts at, but we have the mutton busting, the calf riding and stuff like that for the youth to participate in their own little rodeo. And they get excited about that. And that's really fun to watch those kids participate in that.
Anybody that wants more information on that can go to our website, which is www.navajocountyfair.net, and they can pull up the information on the Little Buckaroo Rodeo. I know I have a lot of phone calls of when can we enter, but the entries are only one evening. I believe it's September 8th. They can only call in for those entries, but they can see the flyer on that on our website.
Perfect. Thanks for sharing that too. That points people in the right direction for it.
Yes, lots of information
It's
on
a
that
fun
website.
event to go and watch too. It's great.
What a great opportunity to showcase some of the different skills that our youth have.
Yes.
But it's not just a youth rodeo, right? You have another rodeo that goes on later, don't you?
We do our GCPRA, which stands for Grand Canyon Pro Rodeo Association. We have that Friday night and Saturday night, and we've won awards for our rodeo that we've had. And it's a great event that we have each year, and it brings a lot of people. We've had Europeans travel on their tour buses that come to our fair just to watch our rodeo because they don't get that where they're from. And we get to see the same people. They plan their travel events based on our fair dates a lot of times. And so we see the same people from Europe a lot of times year after year because they come to our rodeo just to watch it. It's a great rodeo.
We also have, so the rodeo actually starts at 6:30 on Friday night and 6 on Saturday night. And that's because we have a great pre-show, which includes a keg race, a really exciting keg race, and a wonderful opening celebration that we'll have on both nights. So it's going to be a pretty spectacular show. So we hope everybody comes out.
It's just action-packed, lots of different stuff going on. And that's not everything. You talked earlier about a derby.
Yes.
The Demolition Derby.
Why don't you tell us about the Demolition Derby?
So the Demolition Derby is on Thursday night, starts at 7 o'clock. We're hoping we have a bunch of cars and a few trucks in there. We'll have several heats, and we'll have some entertainment in between when they take their breaks and have to fix their cars up a little bit. It's packed. Like in 19 when we had it, I've never seen so many people fill up a grandstands. It's a pretty exciting event, and we're looking forward to having that there on Thursday night.
That's exciting. And you also mentioned, and I'm familiar with it, but let's share with our audience, the opening ceremonies. What can they expect on opening ceremonies? When is that, and what all happens during opening ceremonies?
So on opening ceremonies, that happens on Wednesday at 6 p.m. It's a chance for the county officials to come out, introduce themselves to the public. We have kids from the local schools come and do a performance. We have an honor guard coming from the Bird Springs chapter, American Legion post. So they're coming and doing the color guard for us there. But it's a chance for the elected officials from Navajo County to come and introduce themselves to the public and interact with the kids from the schools and the general public there at the fairgrounds. Right?
Yep. Yeah, we're also going to be honoring some people that might have been at the fair 90 years ago as part of our 90s, celebrating 90 years of memories. So we're excited to have them be there as well.
Always a special experience. Thank you for kind of talking a little bit about that and some of the different events that you have going on. Now, Rumor is a lot of people in our communities, they're really good at making different produce, or they make produce, they grow their vegetables in their gardens, but they also make great, my grandmother used to enter cookies and jams and different things. Tell us a little about, is that available? What's the process for that? And where can people go and see?
So our exhibit, we call it our open class exhibit hall. So that we encourage people to come in if they grow vegetables, fruit, if they make jam from those fruits and vegetables or whatever, enter those in the fair as exhibits, and they get judged not only fruits and vegetables, but also if they knit, if they quilt, if they sew, if they take pictures. There's a photography section that they can enter their pictures into the fair.
Fine artwork.
Fine art. There's
crafts. You name it.
A lot of stuff that they can enter the fair. It's $5 for a page of entries that they have to pay, and then they get judged on each entry they get, and a chance to win a blue ribbon on any of those events.
And a few premiums.
Yep.
Basically, if they go to our website, the fair book is on there. If they flip through the fair book, it will show every department, every class that they can enter. The entries are due pretty quick. They're due by September 3rd. I'm sure we'll take some a little bit longer than that. And then they will drop their exhibits off on the 12th and 13th. If they can't drop them off, there are pickup places at the Chamber of Commerce's around the county. They just need to make arrangements with those specific Chamber of Commerce's.
But I think that event is historic event in county fairs throughout the country, and so I'd like to see as many people as we can participate in that, and just bring them. Even if if you don't think it's good, we might think it's great. Yeah. So we encourage people to come and enter anything they feel like it into the fair, because I think it's great. And again, that's part of the county fair.
Thank you for sharing that. That was actually, it's funny. I really enjoyed that growing up, going and seeing, who was the good cooks in town,
right?
And who was good at growing, in their gardens and those types of things. So it's nice to be able to highlight the achievements again of what people are doing out there. And so we've gone and we've talked about quite a few different events. I'm sure that we haven't hit everything, but as we've talked about food, I know it makes me a little bit hungry. There's a lot of vendors there that are doing food, and there's definitely the cantina. Do you mind talking about the ability to eat there and what's available and those types of things, including the cantina?
Right. So we call it the cantina. It's the bullpen grill. It's the food booth that the fair board puts on and works and stuff. And so it's great. It's known for Jose's famous green chili. So we invite people to come get a green chili burger, green chili fries, hamburgers, hot dogs, fried zucchini. So that we offer that through the fair board. There's also several other food vendors that are coming, and we limit it to one type of food per vendor, so we don't have multiple people selling the same things. But there's anywhere from Navajo tacos to fried frog legs, so there's a variety of different foods. Of course, a lot of people come just to get the funnel cakes. Those are great there. So, there's all kinds of food, and not only food vendors, but commercial vendors selling products in Martinez Hall and outside throughout the fairgrounds.
In fact, we're really excited about the commercial vendors. We've never had this many actual sellers with great products. So Martinez Hall is going to be full of lots of fun things that you can purchase. So we're excited about that.
We're excited about that. And we do have two new events that we're having this year at the fair. On Wednesday night at 7 p.m. after opening ceremonies, we're having Latin night. We're having two bands out of the valley, out of Phoenix area, coming up and putting on a free concert for anybody who wants to attend. We've never done this, so we're excited to see how it goes. And all they have to do is pay their entry fees to the fair, and they can go watch the concert for free. And that's on Wednesday night from 7 till 11. Another event that we're having is on Saturday afternoon from about 2 to 6 p.m., and that's going to be a Native American powwow on the south end of the freeway, or fairgrounds.
It's going to be a freeway.
Right. Well, right. And so that's open to the public as well. There's no charge to get into that. So I'm kind of excited to have that event going on as well.
Both great events that identify part of our culture and history in this area, and have a chance to be able to have other people come in and experience it. So that's great. We've talked about a lot of different things, and we're starting to get a little lower on time. Is there anything else that we've missed that we need to highlight to share that's going to be happening?
So in the past, they've always had a kids zone, kids area. We're really making that bigger and better this year. It's going to be on the south end of the grounds. You will be able to tell it's a kids zone. We're going to have 3 huge inflatable. There's one obstacle course, a slide, and the bounce house. We'll also have a face painter and a mechanical bull down there. But I wanted to let everybody know that new this year we're going to have it's going to be like a treasure hunt. What is that
Scavenger
called?
hunt?
Scavenger hunt. So when they come into the fairgrounds at the gate, they'll get a little map with a little questionnaire, and they have to go to specific spots within the fairgrounds, fill out whatever the answer is to that question, and then at the end, their kids will get a prize at the end. So we're hoping that a little interaction will be fun for the kids in there as well.
That's a great idea. Probably your idea, right?
I thought it was somebody, but I ran with it.
Great idea to get them to be interactive and doing.
And also, if I could really quickly add that we have entertainers also that will be throughout the fairgrounds. Joe Stoddard, who's a ventriloquist and a singer. We have Washboard Willie, who's a one-man band. We have the Mark Miller Band playing on Friday night and Saturday night after the rodeo. We knew this year is karaoke night after the Demolition Derby, where we're also going to have the Eagles Band play. And then, who am I missing? Always popular is Poppin' Penelope, the balloon artist, and her husband, who is Peter, who walks on the stilts and juggles. So we have quite a lineup going on, along with a lot of local entertainment as well. So we're excited about that.
That's really exciting, honestly, to have really that much going on in a short period of time. Hopefully everybody gets a chance to make it out, if not every single day, get out there for sure, at least a day or two, and experience what's going on at this year's Navajo County Fair.
Yes.
Real quick, because we're starting to run short on time. Last year, this unfortunately, what's become so important to our communities, we had to cancel due to COVID and the pandemic and what was going on. What can they expect this year when they come to the fair? Because obviously it's happening.
Right. So if you come to the fair, we are providing masks at the ticket booths. If you don't have a mask and you need a mask, we provide that. We are also putting several washing stations throughout the fairgrounds and hand sanitizer throughout the fairgrounds. That way it's available if anybody wants to go in and sanitize their hands. We're going to be wiping down pretty much everywhere throughout the whole facilities during the fair. So if anybody has any concerns or like that, we're going to be on top of that, making sure that's taken care of.
And the masks are not required. They'll just be there for their convenience if they are comfortable with that.
We're taking all the precautions that we can to make sure that people stay healthy and safe while they're at the fair.
Yes.
Well, thank you. Appreciate your leadership there. This obviously takes a lot of work. Do you mind kind of giving us a high level, again, with limited time, but do you mind giving us a high level overview? What does it take? What's the manpower, the man and women power to be able to put this all together?
Well, some nights, usually on fair nights, we're there till 2 a.m. and back at 6 a.m. Some things break, water lines break, so you're there working all night fixing that and just making sure.
Somebody runs into a telephone pole.
Right, knocks that down. There's always something going on. So sometimes we don't leave there. You're there day and night throughout the fair. So man hours, it takes a lot of time, not only preparing for it, but also during it. And thank you to all those people who volunteer to come work, county employees, just community people that want to come help and make sure that the fair is a success. So I want to make sure all those volunteers are thanked because they do a lot of work that helps us out to make this. And also to our sponsors that sponsor monetarily to help put on this event. It costs us about $230,000 to put on this event just for those few days. So without those sponsors being involved, there's no way that we could do it. So I want to thank the sponsors as well.
Well, thank you for doing that. And thank you for your effort. Thank you to the volunteers that actually come together to help put this almost every event that we have in our communities. It takes quite a few volunteers to come, and they're all paid. So we certainly appreciate it. One more time, do you mind just real quickly giving us the dates and where they can find tickets?
So September 15th through the 18th is the fair. There's pre-sale tickets available now at the fair office. They can call the fair office at 928-524-4745. 757. They could pay over the phone with Michelle, and they'll put a will call envelope at the office, and they just go to the office and pick those up. And it's $10, and that will get them into the fair and rodeo, demolition, whatever event they want to go for that ticket. We also have a family pass, if you want to explain that.
The family pass is for 6 people for all 4 days and nights of the rodeo. It's $65, so that's a really good deal if there's families out there that want to come and hang out. So that's
right, and those tickets are available up to, I believe, Tuesday night is what people can purchase those tickets at the fair office for.
And they can also walk in and buy the pre-sales tickets as well. With the carnival tickets, we have the pre-sale, like Mike mentioned there, so they can come on in there.
Perfect.
Yes.
Hey, thank you both. Appreciate your time, for wanting us to come and talk to us a little about this year's Navajo County Fair. Really looking forward to it. It should be a special experience. And thanks to so many that have come together to make this all happen. We want to thank you for joining us on Navajo County Connection, and we'll see you next month.